interestingly, I'm going to ask you about enlightenment.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, because just a brief.
No, he's doing it for everybody. He's clearing. He's doing it for everyone. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
There's
Thank
no
you.
separation in that.
Ha,
These are
yeah.
questions that are in the field. Come on, and you're really good at it.
So thank you. Just a brief intro, and then I'll ask the question.
You're very welcome. Yeah.
So, this has been thought, but
he had to get down on the floor for this.
Oh right.
Yeah, go on.
So I learned to meditate. I mean, it's nearly 40 years ago, and when I learned, the idea of enlightenment was something that was for people with beards, mainly men, who lived in caves in the Himalayas.
Yes.
And it was something that was, out of reach. And in a sense, although, I'm attracted to the spirituality, it was always out of reach. It was always,
yes.
And it's comparatively recently that, it's, gosh, maybe I could, I could connect with that. And so you are profoundly instrumental in that, Ananta, and I cannot say how highly I value yes, but I mean your rebellious, truanting self
smashes all those ideas. Yeah.
That's right. And it's
that is why I'm like I am.
Yes.
Actually, I was like that before, but it's why I continue to be as I am, to smash ideas,
But it is wonderful, the gift.
It's wonderful. And I love what you're saying, because in my story, right, my master was Osho, right? And he spoke in such a poetic way, which was so beautiful. But it was about something that was far away, right?
Yeah.
And I never even considered the idea of even going for something called enlightenment. It was just like, oh, what a master, It was just like the dying of the ego, continuously bowing down to that. When I got released from Japan, I never had the idea at all that now I've arrived somewhere. Absolutely not. I was smashed to pieces. All my teeth were broken. My hair was all, I was skinny as a rake. I had one eye dripping. I was physically, emotionally traumatized. And at the same time, there was a knowing that I could not explain to anybody, because nobody could hear it. So I kept it quiet, right? And whenever I started to try to speak it, people would close up and start doing something else. Whenever I tried to convey, like, the bullshit I was seeing everywhere, people would, like, retract and go, like, especially my mother was like, she's going to be okay, they're going to be, give her time, she'll be okay, So what I was speaking appeared to be like there was something wrong. And where I was, right, couldn't be conveyed or spoken about, yet it was a knowing that was undeniable, that was a contradiction, or like, say, my personality was being triggered, right? Because it wasn't in prison at all. There was just nobody here, just awareness being for a long time, right? When I came out and I got into a relationship especially, then all the personality that started to get emotionally triggered, and I could see that's not me, that's not true, that's not me, that's I can see it all arising, but I've got no connection to it. I can see it all happening, and somebody's relating to that, but I've got no connection to it. And I was trying to, and there was no way for that to be met. When I got to Pune, Osho's ashram area, there was a friend of mine who, before I went in prison, he was a DJ, taking LSD, you know, a really great guy. He lived in the same house I lived in Japan. When I got out, he, you may know him, Tuha. He was suddenly dressed all in white, sitting in front of hundreds of people in a chair, speaking very slowly, like Osho. And he was said to be enlightened. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened to Tuha, right? So I came to one of his meetings and I sat by his feet and I sat looking at him, and he was so beautiful. And he was just very clearly speaking exactly what was inside of me. You know, it was like, he knows. And that was the first, well, if it can happen to him, what's happening here? Yeah? The thing that kept me not seeing that the shift had already taken place was the fact that I was experiencing, when the triggers were going off, anger was coming up. Mm-hmm. Emotional was coming up. All this was coming up, and I was never having the idea that I could have awakened because all this stuff was coming up. Mm-hmm. So obviously not, yeah? But when I started to sit with him and I saw that there's no difference, there's just no difference. Oh my God, you know, oh my God. And I was listening to Gangaji and I was like, she's speaking what's happening in here. Mm-hmm. I had to open to the idea that all this humanness stays. It was like a shock for me to awaken to the fact that I had already awakened. Yeah? The shift was already there. But the recognition of the recognition confirmed was not confirmed. For somebody outside to confirm it is really important.